Stormbringer issue 25, a real fountain of opportunities. Hello and welcome to issue 25 of the Lucky Roads continuing series of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Stormbringer, and in this issue we get two terrain pieces which we have painted. But first let's have a look at the actual issue itself, and the lore in this issue is actually quite interesting because it focuses on the realm of heavens, which is essentially the land of Azyr, which is where the Stormcast Eternals are based and where they stage most of their invasions of the Mortal Realms from. It is the only part of the Mortal Realms that did not fall to chaos, and its greatest treasure is the floating city fortress of Sigmar Bullum. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. But basically it is the bastion of defense, and where Sigmar himself, the land of the God King, rules, resides, and oversees his invasions and retakings of the mortal realms. There was a war in the realm of heavens way back when they were trying to take the land from the dragon Orgors, but as I said, it is the only realm that has not fallen to chaos as of since. It also has some interesting lore here on magic and the Collegiate Arcane, where it talks about, in the first person actually, as an instructor to a potential study or novitiate of the colleges of magic. So it just kind of explains the force of magic, what it can be done, and explains a little bit about two tools of magic that can be used on the battlefield, such as the Luminarchs of Hysh, which kind of provide clarity, and the Celestial Hurricanus. I love these mad Latin names. That it kind of helps the Stormcast Eternals, especially with their storm magic. You have here the battlefield in Ulgu, which of course is one of the two places that we had in a previous issue between light and darkness. And what's interesting, of course, is that this is where the terrain comes in, because you get the fountain and you get the treasure chest. But sometimes these little old kind of abandoned structures can have little bits of magic or little kind of interesting gameplay aspect are added to it. So things such as Shadowborn courses or a kind of a ruined history. So you can actually add to the story. I mean, one thing here is that you roll the dice, and if you roll a 1, strange whispers can be heard around the fountain asking the weak-willed to drink the spectral waters within. So you could kind of easily put in any type of kind of a narrative game that anyone who moves within the waters, they take a sip of water and get a +1 to strength or a -1 to strength, or that they lose control for a turn or anything like that. So there's a lot of fun with these two cool little terrain pieces, as well as just being kind of battlefield kind of eye-catching eye candy. We have usual how to build, how to paint guides, which are fairly straightforward. It was a very simple thing to put together. The paint guide actually is quite well. I followed the paint guide in this one quite closely to get the kind of fountain effect, and it was really just a kind of a wraithbone with a wash of Agrax Earthshade. You have here, of course, the rules for the issue, and we have the double and the redeploy, so there's extra rules here, and Fighters in the Fog and the Alliance of Objects, which is the name of the actual battle. But as for the terrain pieces themselves, I think they look great. This again is Games Workshop at their best when they come up with really imaginative, really cool looking terrain pieces. And I mean, this is obviously Age of Sigmar, but you could use it for Warhammer 40k as well. Again, this is just a base of Wraithbone that I used from a spray can, and just Agrax Earthshade spread over it very gently. I didn't let it pool or anything like that, and it kind of gave a lovely off-color, horrible kind of white aspect. Even inside here, in the inside the actual terrain, you can't see it here perfectly, but there's little things like, say, there's bones or broken vases or kind of rubble. I put a little bit of kind of varnish in it to kind of give it the essence of wetness. And you have in here, even at the top, the fountain itself, where you can kind of give what would normally be a gold thing is now a dirty kind of grey horrible thing because of just weather and exposure. But the fountain itself was something I was very happy to kind of paint, and put together. It's a lovely little terrain piece and something that you don't get in the 40k stuff. The other thing, of course, was the treasure chest, which again was a fun little thing to put together, and you have a lot of cool little things in it, such as a kind of like it's like a sextant, a kind of a measuring tool, which of course would be very useful back in kind of nautical days. Coins, things like that, and you know, you can paint this however way you want, but it was just a fun, lovely little distracting paint, and a fun little kind of terrain piece to add to a battlefield, or even a hazard, if you wish, or a ward, if you wish, to add to a battlefield or to any kind of narrative campaigns. But they're just cool little things that, you know, add to the mystique. And just for scale, we have here the Gloomspite Git from the previous issue. So as you can see, for scale, they're normal sized fountains, but they're not table hogs, so you can easily put figures and pieces around them. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was issue 25 of Stormbringer magazine. Join us next time for issue 26, which is another paint reinforcement issue. So until then, good luck, God bless, and stay safe.